Can we start recording? Recording! Okay. This is good. Very good. Don't know why I sounded like that Russian from 2012. New game. Wait, what? Oh, there we go. In memory of the Ukrainian Heavenly 100. As I say, if I got... I'll sort that out in a minute. Oh, there we go. I can put that up a little bit more. Okay, I think we're good. I might just turn it down a touch. We'll see. Anyway, back to chat. Continue.
Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad.
Blindfold himself and randomly shoot a gun.
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
Murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
Oh.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
Go alone then. Alright. Select a suit. Oh, dude, we gotta go select a suit. Alright. Alright, let's... Oh, we're picking a suit. Alright, let's have a look. I don't think it's outfits needed. Unbuttoned suit. Casual suit. Black suit. Brown suit. Green, grey, white, bandit. Oh, that's all locked. I think we'll just go with a casual suit for now, I think. Alright. Let's head to Womansley! Ba-da-ba-ba. Not much to think about at the moment. Alright, we're here.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
Well-maintained garden. Alright, let's actually go and join Lestrade first, and then...
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
I'm missing something. Have a quick look. Guys. Catholic Rosary. Gardening gloves. Okay, so when was the body found?
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. We lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Okay.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes, life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind. Thank you, madam.
Mr. Holmes?
Just going to take a look at the... so examine the garden.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Good. Better not have done, Lestrade. For I would be very annoyed.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Indeed. Anything else around? Alright, let's have a look. Oh!
What a terrible way to die. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer. The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Oh?
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Open it up.
These abbreviations mean something. But what?
What?
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
The whalers on the moon. Sorry. Oh, hello, we got things to put together. Okay. Hello. An ambush must be made tonight to see if the break-in attempt will be repeated.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Chest. Boots.
Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting.
Am I missing something? Aha! Harpoon
The
rack.
murder weapon was probably taken from this rack. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Boots. Ship's logs. Find a use. We'll do in a minute. Oh! Oh, hello. Oh. Suspiciously empty space. Outlined in the dust.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. A box or a small chest, perhaps. The tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
Indeed.
Hammerfest.
And to Dundee.
Dundee. It's a whaling map.
Okay. What have we got on the table?
Someone drank from this glass recently. Rum. A sailor's drink.
Sailor.
It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
There's 2 glasses.
The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Ah.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Welcome to Greg. Oh, there we go. Ah. I hate these. Actually, I can't move. Where does this go? Aha, that goes there. Where do you go? That is, where is that? Okay, so that's in play now. Okay, so that's exactly where it needs to be. This. Move it up. Oh, I was so close!
This is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Damn it! I was so close. Is there anything else in here? Objects of interest.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain.
Is there anything else? Don't think there is. So the chest.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Let's have a look outside. Anything here? Oh, footprints. Hang on. Footprints.
These footprints appear to be quite large. These footprints appear to be quite large. These boots don't match the footprints.
Right, so they're not his boots. Okay. Strad.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oh, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
dust. Aha, I can sprint. Something I need to just chat to her about. Oh, evidently there might be. Aha.
Is this your husband's tobacco pouch?
I'm not sure. It might be, but he hadn't smoked in a very long time.
Your husband's private papers. Do you know where they are?
There was a small tin box, barely larger than a book. He kept his papers there. It should be somewhere in his cabin.
It's not there, though.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Never mind. Thank you, madam.
Okay, so still need. Alright, let's organise an ambush with Bastard.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Alright. Alright, so far, there's something I can ask her, but I don't understand how I know that he was different. Okay. Don't know why it gave me that option. I'll think about it later.
Shh. Did you hear that?
Well. Who?
There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there.
Now, who are you?
All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough. You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But-
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector, but please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Scotland Yard. How do I know that he is different? Ah, there we go.
These are the suspect's belongings. The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor. To my friend, from R. Dawson.
R. Dawson. To my friend and partner.
And partner, 1883. Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer. A handkerchief with the initials JHN.
Same as the one on the notebook.
A pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
Let's go and have a chat. Alright, Mr. Nelligan, let's have a little word with you. What we got going on? Elaborate buttons. Ouch. What are we missing here?
Does this notebook belong to you?
Yes. But where did you find it? I did not know... I thought I'd lost it at the hotel.
What do these abbreviations mean?
Oh, no. I beg you, I can't. If I told you, it would only make things worse.
But I will find out eventually, Mr. Nelligan. The sea knife was found near Carey's body. Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, did Mr. Carey try to defend himself or to attack you with it?
I don't know. I didn't kill anyone.
The police seized this valuable ring from you. Whose is it?
I didn't steal it from anyone. It has always belonged to me.
The ring's date of engraving is many years ago. You would have been a child then, hardly in any position to receive such an item from a partner. So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
The ring is mine. Select the correct answer.
So, Mr. Nelligan, who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
Father's jacket.
So, Mr. Nelligan,
Short-
who is the true owner of the ring?
The ring is mine.
I just loved him saying, the ring is mine. father's jacket. Here.
No, Mr. Nelligan. I believe that the ring had belonged to your father.
Oh, but how do you know?
The jacket you are wearing is made of an expensive fabric that only a man of exceptional wealth could afford. You do not seem to me to be a rich man, Mr. Nelligan. Furthermore, the garment is ill-fitting. It is quite clear that it belonged to someone else, most probably your father. With your father gone and taking with him the family's wealth, as a little boy you had to find yourself a manual job, and it was most probably cleaning fish. You cut your hands often while working. I can tell from the scars.
I'm speechless, Mr. Holmes. It all happened exactly as you say.
I'm
Well,
good.
I will see you soon, young man.
Please, let me go. I'm innocent.
I need to go back and have a... Okay, so... The breaking attempts were made in order to recover the notebook that had been lying in the pool of the victim's blood. This proves the guilt of the person who made these attempts. Breaking attempts. Missing tin box. No. See, it's just... I knew there was one. We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man could use a harpoon well enough to kill by fully piercing a body. Ho! We've got some investigation.
I need to stage a reconstruction. I'm sure that Watson would be happy to oblige.
Prepare for harpoon throwing experiment. What's down here? Have this be the morgue. Alright, don't need to chop anything up right now. We're good.
Locked.
What I do need to do is I want to go back to Woodsman Lee. Now I know how to do that thing. I just got to choose the right answer. Open deduction. Let's see if we've got any others. Breaking attempts. No gardener. Carriers on smoker. That's going to have to do with being pinned to a wall. Okay. So I've still got a few things that I'm missing. Just make sure they're all sorted. Yep. Okay. Alright. Sprint, Mr. Holmes.
You have indeed suffered. He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Pilgrimage?
You have He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
Pilgrimage, yeah.
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand.
Indeed.
The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Indeed. Right.
Thank you, madam.
Who could do such a thing? My poor husband.
Alright. I need to go search my archives. Find out who the hell Dawson is. Dawson! Wait, Jack, is that you? It's at the Baker Street. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba. Alright, see if I've got any deductions. No, they're all sorted. We need to find out whether an unskilled and untrained man can use a harpoon while if they're killed by footy. Okay. Alright, I need to find Dawson. Dawson. Archives. Search for Dawson, 1883.
That is not the one I need.
Dawson and Nelligan are bankrupt. There it is. Dawson and Nelligan Investment Fund, a regional banking constitution based in Cornwall, was declared bankruptcy as a result of heavy losses in its loan portfolio and has been accordingly assigned for liquidation. It was the 23rd largest bank in Britain, and its bankruptcy was the second largest on record. Liquidation of the company is a pure catastrophe for many Cornwall families. Joshua Nelligan, one of the bankers, has since mysteriously disappeared. He was last seen aboard his yacht, preparing for departure to Norway. Nelligan is wanted by both the police and his creditors.
Here it is.
Interesting.
Now I begin to understand that young man's story, but I am still unclear as to what connects him with the murder. It is time to ask him.
Okay, so his father's gone bankrupt. Alright, where's Watson gone? There he is. Oh, hello. Oh,
A spot of whaling, Watson. Would you care to take part?
Are you serious?
No, but we do need to clarify what happened on the night of Black Peter's murder.
A reenactment, then? Is something bothering you?
The sailor's knife, Watson. Why was it on the floor?
Peter Carey attempted to defend himself?
It is possible, but if that is the case, then it alters many things.
I don't quite follow you.
Tell me, my friend, what is the animal closest to man, morphologically, I mean?
Ah, I see what you're getting at, Holmes. You asked me that once before. On the Ripper case, I believe. Do you want to slit some more pigs' throats?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
I wish to impale one with a harpoon.
Wonderful.
Watson, let us pay a visit to our butcher friend in Whitechapel. We require the carcass of a well-fed pig.
And the harpoon?
One of the harpoons on the wall of Black Peter's cabin should do quite nicely.
I gotta pet the doggy first.
Brave Toby. The best nose in the British Empire.
Okay. Interesting view. Harpoon throwing experiment. Alright.
I need to take a harpoon with me.
Alright, so I guess we go to Woodman's Lee. Grab a harpoon. Alright, let's go grab a harpoon. Harpoons! We're wailing on the moon.
That should do it. Now I am ready for the experiment.
Right, we're off to the butcher's. We should impale one with a harpoon. I don't have got anything else. Yeah, they're all done. Okay. Oh! Watson!
Well, here we are in the preparation room. I can't say that I like the smell of it much. What do you intend to do?
To indulge myself in a little experiment. The challenge of lancing a pig's carcass with a heavy harpoon.
A little experiment?
Stand aside, Watson. This might be dangerous. I am not well practiced in this exercise, yet.
Holmes, you should aim for the mark in order to perform the most reliable test. Holmes, I can't believe it. Did you just miss? Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
I'm getting used to it, you know what I mean?
The harpoon has struck the body, but with insufficient strength to pierce it straight through. Holmes, you should try to aim better and throw as hard as you can.
Aha! Had a couple of practices.
This is the best possible result that I could get. Do you see, Watson? Throwing a harpoon and pinning a man to a wall requires either exceptional strength and training or diabolical luck.
If it was luck, then it was a chance in 1,000 that night.
Well, yes. Let us leave now.
All right. But before we go, I suppose I'll have to pay for all these carcasses you've happily mangled.
Very well, but please hurry.
Of course.
There we are, but please hurry. Alright. No, there's a remote possibility that an unskilled and untrained man could manage to pin Peter Carey to the wall with a harpoon. It requires much greater strength than that of the average man to be able to pierce a man's chest with a harpoon all the way through to the wall. A degree of skill would most likely be necessary. Two men in cooperation might achieve the same result. Let's go for the possibility that it was a lucky throw. Right, let's go chat to Mr. Nelligan again. So what have we found out so far? Dawson is his father, so from Dawson. Okay.
Mr. Holmes?
I don't need this in the other room. Ooh, I want to turn the pipe. Pipe. Oh, there's a drunk man in there. Alright, Mr. Nelligan. We need to have a chat about your harpoon throwing skills.
I have heard the story of Dawson and Nelligan, the West Country bankers.
Yes. Joshua Nelligan was my father.
I am aware that it had a bad ending. When the bank failed, it ruined half the families of Cornwall. whereupon Joshua Nelligan disappeared.
My father was under extraordinary pressure. Dawson had retired. I was only 10 years of age at the time, but it was still old enough to feel the shame that befell our family. My father was convinced that he could pay off all his debts if the creditors gave him time. He set sail for Hammerfest in Norway in his small yacht, just a few days before an arrest warrant was issued. He left my mother a list of the securities he was taking. No word was ever heard from him again. We believe that his vessel went down, taking with it everyone and everything on board.
Thank you for the story, Mr. Nelligan. At last, we are making some progress.
At last, we are making...
Interesting. Joshua Nelligan and Peter Carey were both at sea in Norway. There is definitely some connection between Peter Carey and Joshua Nelligan's disappearance.
Examine the ship's log. Alright. We're putting all this together. Okay, see what we've got. Instructions. I still reckon it... Oh, wait a minute. If carries a non... Okay. What do we do for feat of strength? Brings us down somewhere else. Have a little think. Alright.
1883. That's the one I need.
Alright, so
This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn. This is the crew list of the Sea Unicorn.
Enjoy Lancaster, Cairns, Contractor, Land, Walker, York, Lang, Shepherd, Patterns, Fowler, Talbot.
Log notes for June. Nothing unusual.
Light green.
Log notes for July. Nothing special. Log notes for August. These pages have been torn away. Canadian Pacific Railway, CPR. A torn piece from a bond certificate. I have seen this abbreviation somewhere very recently. There are 3 ways of discovering what happened in August of 1883 aboard the Sea Unicorn. The first 2 of these will require speaking with a dead man. The last would be to locate vital witnesses, the sailors involved in this whale hunt campaign.
Find the crew. Wiggins might help to find the crew of the Sea Unicorn. He should be somewhere on Baker Street. Wiggins! I have a job for you. Don't know why I'm not having James Bond.
Something new, Watson. I have the list of sailors who were aboard the Sea Unicorn. We shall soon learn what happened to Nelligan's father. I have only to find them. Let us hope they're still working at the harbour.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard...
I doubt it, Watson. And really, I would prefer that all of this remains quiet for now. But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist.
And who might they be?
The secret police division of Baker Street.
Ah, you mean young Wiggins and his gang?
Yes. Believe me, you'll receive more useful assistance from these little urchins than from a dozen yard detectives. Those children are everywhere. They see and hear everything, and they are cunning. All they lack is organization. I'll summon them.
How will you do that?
There is always a watch beneath our window. I have only to call him.
There's always a watch.
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
Wiggins, I need you to track down certain people for me. I'll give you a list. You can read, can't you?
Big Oliver from our gang. He can, because his father is the coachman of a famous lawyer.
Fascinating. Here is the list of sailors.
Sailors? Easy. Just got to look where the rum and the red lights are.
Off you go, Wiggins. Go find them.
Sorry to trouble you, Mr. Holmes, but the inspector asks that you come to the station as soon as possible.
Thank you. I'll be there shortly.
Good gracious, you caught someone. At least now you have a suspect.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't think he did it. Let's see what we got on my deductions. Anything new? No, nothing new. What does Lestrade get? Whoever's to comment how amazing I am. Oh.
Mr. Holmes, I'm glad to see you.
As always, what happened?
We have a new suspect, Liam Hurtley. I'm thinking that this case will be resolved very quickly now.
Interesting. Pray tell.
Well, the constable that I left at Woodman's Lee noticed a suspicious individual prowling around during the night.
Do you have him here?
Yes, he refuses to speak with us, but we'll make him talk.
Let us hope so.
Ah, yes, and one more thing. The constable told me that at the time of his arrest, the fellow was writing a letter.
Do you have it?
Of course. It's in the evidence room, at your disposal. Admit that for once, Mr. Holmes, Scotland Yard is a step ahead of you, eh?
Breathtaking.
Alright. Let's go and have a look at this evidence room and then we're going to go and have a little chat with our new suspect. Liam Hurtley. That's Nelligan's.
These are the suspect's belongings. I wonder if these are connected.
There it is.
Now we have the proof that Nelligan's papers were indeed here. It seems that they have vanished, however.
Missing papers. Nelligan was looking for his father's papers inside Black Peter's cabin. It explains his presence at the scene of the murder. Breaking attempts were made in order to recover the notebook. Papers. Let's go with that for a minute. Okay. What else if we go for this one? Possibly. Are they looking for papers? Papiras. Hurtley. Here we go.
These are the suspect's belongings.
Big boots.
Liam Hurtley's old boots. They're a size 9.5.
They might fit the footprints. There we go.
The stains are fresh. They can be removed with the proper chemicals. A pen. Nothing unusual about it.
Alright, let's go and have a chat with Mr. Hurtley.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sherlock Holmes. I would like to ask you a few questions.
I've already told the police that I've nothing to say. And you're not even part of the police.
Precisely, and considering your situation, it might be wise to speak with someone who is, shall we say, rather more neutral. You are a suspect in a murder case.
I know. Inspector Lestrade told me. It's ridiculous.
Could you at least tell me who you are, and exactly what happened that you should be brought here?
My name is Liam Hurtley. That I can tell you, but you're not getting any more than that.
Well, we shall see.
Let's have a look at what we've got here. It's a nice hat. Ooh. That's a nasty scar. Hello. Handkerchief with crusted tits. Plant remains. Wait a minute, isn't there like a gardener? Gardener's hands. Well.
That's all for now.
Let's go back to the Woodman's Lee a minute. I have a feeling those boots are gonna fit the. Valuable bond certificates were kept inside the stolen tin box. Interesting. No, I don't think it was Nelligan right now. Let's go and investigate this Hartley character. Look at that.
These boots match the footprints exactly.
There is boots. So he was there. Liam Hurtley's boots match the footprints at Woodman's Lee, thus proving that he was there. Judith carries that he was their gardener. So what was he doing there? Alright, let's go and do this letter. It's all coming together. I think. Slowly bringing it all together. Alright. Just gonna use some fresh chemicals. Alright, see what Hurtley was doing.
I need to prepare a chemical agent that is capable of removing fresh ink. For this purpose, the chemicals from the flasks should be combined in a certain order to perform a chain reaction. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Okay.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used.
Okay.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Alright. So that's orange. colourless, blue. Alright. So we'll start with green. Then we'll take blue. Then orange. And then white. And then blue.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
Start again.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used.
Yeah.
Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Right. So I got the first part right. We do the green. And then blue. Then orange. Then clear. I'll do clear again.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
What the hell's going on? Think about this for a second.
First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the 3rd one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
So do green. That one I know. And then the blue one. We got orange. And then we got colorless. Alright, now what happens if I go for orange again? And then colorless. And then blue.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
I don't get it. What am I doing wrong?
I need to prepare a chemical agent.
So let's start with blue.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again.
What am I missing here? Alright, start with green. And then we go to blue. And we Do orange. Let me do that. Right, how long have I just put the blue in here?
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction.
I'm determined to do this one. I got the first couple of pieces right. I know that far. It's green, blue, orange, clear. Green. Blue. And orange. And then clear. Then orange. Clear. And blue.
No, something isn't right. I need to start the reaction from the beginning again. First condition, all 7 reagents should be used. Second condition, orange reagent should be the third one in the sequence after the blue reagent. Third condition, colorless reagent should be added after the orange reagent.
Helps if I freaking read it correctly. There's got to be 2 in between. So we'll go blue. Then we'll put... Silver has to go after orange. Blue, the green. And we'll stick the blue in. Then orange. Silver, orange, silver. I am a numpty. That took me way longer than it should. Right, hopefully that will work now. Yay!
Done. Now I can proceed further.
Damn it. It took me ages. Boy.
Let us see if the content of this letter sheds a little light upon the mystery. I did as you asked and hid them well. Interesting. How would Hurtley react to this?
It's Lee. Alright. Let's go back to Scotland Yard and have a chat with Mr. Lee. Your boots! Your boots fit footprints. I said that's not going to go together. Alright, Mr. Hurtley. Well, we shouldn't run indoors.
Please escort this suspect for interrogation. Tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what were you doing at Woodman's Lee?
Woodman's Lee? I've never been there.
Hurtley's boots, man.
The second pair of boots that you had with you when you were arrested perfectly match the footprints found near the cabin where Peter Carey was murdered.
Footprints? That's your proof? How many men have boots like mine? That doesn't make me a murderer.
Now that your presence at Woodman's Lee has been proven, would you care to explain it?
I don't remember. What would I be doing there anyway?
Gardener.
Because you are the gardener at Woodman's Lee.
I'm not. How did you...
I observed your hands. They told me that you work with the earth. Small fragments of plants snagged to your trousers indicate that you were mowing very recently. But the most obvious clue presented itself in the bird embroidered on your handkerchief. A crested tit, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, you got me. Yes, I am a gardener, and I went there to get my tools.
So what did you hide?
So tell me, Mr. Hurtley, what did you hide?
Hide? What are you talking about?
I did as you asked and hid them well. Should I continue?
My letter? But the ink? That's impossible.
A touch of chemistry, nothing special.
Well, you're a smart one. But it's nothing. If you want to know, I was referring to my tools. It was to do with my work, see?
I will check that, Mr. Hurtley.
Right, let's go find
That's
these
all for
tools.
now. Hurtley's stories are false leads. But now I know one thing for certain. I must examine the site where the garden tools are kept at Woodman's Lee.
Off to Woodman's Lee! Anything else here? No, nothing new. I think Nelligan is innocent. Mostly because he's coming too early in the game. Midnight Express, thank you very much for the host. Is that host? Oh, why are my alerts not working again on here? Why is it not coming up? Gosh, darn it. Alright. Where are the tools kept? If I was in tools, I would be in this shed here.
Locked.
Alright, who would have the keys? Talk to Mrs. Carey. Does she have the keys?
Madam, we have information that the valuable stolen papers are hidden amongst the garden tools here at Woodman's Lee. We need to find them.
Oh my. Our tools are kept inside the shed that's right behind me. Here is the key to open it.
I'll talk to you about Liam Hurtley.
Thank you, madam.
Right now, I want in here.
Let's see what could be hidden here.
Oh, hello, hello. Got it.
Let us see what is in this box.
Uh-huh. Oh, we did it. I'm getting a bit better.
A bundle of letters in a woman's hand with the Carey family monogram. Hurtley and Mrs. Carey were in a relationship. That is interesting.
Liam, my dear, you have been so good to me all the time. I have known you. I cannot describe these feelings, so I suppose they are sinful and no good can come from them. I fear what might happen. I fear going against God. Thank you for your care, but I cannot leave the man with whom I have been bound by God. It is just a fine world, and thus my husband is a cross that I must bear. It makes my life living hell, but bruises fade, and you must not worry for me. Ooh. Is there anything else in here that might be of interest? Alright, Mrs. Carey. It's time to have a little chat. Tell me about Liam Hurtley.
Does the name Liam Hurtley mean anything to you?
No, I don't know anyone by that name.
Madam, I am aware of your affinity with Liam Hurtley.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Mrs. Carey, we found your letters.
My letters? I asked Liam to return them to me. I wanted to burn them.
Why did Mr. Hurtley put them inside the garden shed?
I don't know. I wanted them back, but I couldn't see him, not after what happened.
Well, here they are.
Oh, this is terrible. Terrible. Liam, how could he? After what he has done.
You believe that he killed your husband?
No, I do not know. I do not know. Leave me alone, please.
Thank you, madam. I wonder if Wiggins has managed to find any sailors.
What's this? Liam Hurtley's relationship with Judith Carey gives him a motive for killing Peter Carey. It does. We have a motive. Yeah. So Hurtley has a motive. At the moment. Still a lot. And that doesn't add up. So let's do that. Alright. Back to Baker Street. Alright. Mr. Holmes.
Mr. Holmes, we found the sailors from that list you gave us.
Well done, Wiggins. Let me see. This man is a harpooner, and his initials are PC, the same initials that were found on the tobacco pouch.
Haha.
Wiggins, could you gather some information on one of the sailors that you found? His name is Patrick Cairns.
Sometime later.
We found Patrick Cairns.
Good job, Wiggins. Where is he?
He lives in a small furnished dump of a room, but he's always at the Sea Witch pub, where he does arm wrestles for money and drinks.
Excellent. Here is your reward. 2 guineas.
Thank you, sir.
Right. Patrick Cairns and Peter Carey is a non-smoker. Alright, so have a look what we got over here. If the pouch belongs to Peter Cairns, it must indicate his presence at the crime scene, but it must still be...
If I wish to speak to Cairns without alarming him, I had better dress as a sailor.
Alright. Let's go put on a sailor's outfit. Should wear a hat. That'll do. Perfect.
Now I can approach Cairns and see if he recognizes the pouch.
Going off to the pub. Patrick Cairns.
Hello there. Are you Cairns?
What do you want?
We've heard all about the gambling and arm wrestling here. You seem like the likely sort, and I'm up for it.
I start at 10 shillings.
Suits me.
Follow Patrick Cairns' facial expression to understand his moves. Push, restrain, idle.
That's the arm that killed 100 whales. Care to lose another 10 shillings?
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
Let's try this again. Got him.
You were lucky. I wasn't focused. Let's go again.
I'm ready to try again.
Fine. If you want me to take all your money, no problem with that.
So I have best 2 out of 3. Close. Stamina build up. Got him.
Well, good for you, I reckon. You're stronger than you look. Here's your 10 shillings.
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Good winner as well. That's good. Let's have a drink. You're a good type. Seems you've managed to settle down in life. You've got money, eh?
Not all that much.
Oh, well. At least you're not as poor as me.
I'd like to buy your drink. Alright. I've done it. Don't need that. Let's go back. Hit the wrong button again.
Why do you say poor? You're not working?
I'm a harpooner. But you see, the whalers are rare. They don't pay much. So, as a result, I find myself arm wrestling to pay for my drink.
Harpooner.
A harpooner. Interesting. You've had a lot of adventures, I bet.
Of course. It's been a dozen years since I sailed. I've seen everything. Old Wallace, damn Black Peter, Great Roger. We sailed to the Cape of Good Hope.
Black Peter, you say? I've heard rumours about that one.
He was the worst of them all. He was a liar and violent too, swinging those fists of his around. He was a tyrant and not much of a captain. At least, not as good as Great Roger.
I see. Yes. I was told terrible tales about Black Peter.
But you ain't heard the worst.
Another drink.
Tell me, and let's have another drink.
It was in 1883 that it happened. The August of that year. Peter Carey was captain of the Sea Unicorn, and I was a spare harpooner. We were coming out of the ice pack on our way home. One evening, we saw a little craft that had been blown north. There was only one man on her, and he wasn't a sailor. The crew must have thought that she'd foundered, and they made for the Norwegian coast in the dinghy. I guess they all drowned. We took the man on board.
And who was he?
I dunno. During the crossing, he and the skipper enjoyed some long talks. His baggage was just a tin box.
That's strange enough.
Aye. Even stranger was that on the second night, he disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to him. And of course, nobody could ask Black Peter about it.
You know what happened, don't you?
I do. I saw the skipper tie his heels and push him over the rail in the middle of my watch on that dark night. 2 days before we sighted the Shetland lights.
Black Peter's a murderer.
Aye. Those that know him wouldn't be surprised to hear it. But all this must stay between us. All right?
Of course. Back in a second. I'm off to the Kazi.
I'll be here with my drink.
Here it is. Have you got any tobacco? I've run out of mine.
Nah, I lost my pouch. I don't know where. Wait a minute. What's this?
Oh, is this your tobacco pouch?
Well, oh, it is.
Uh-oh.
Well, I have to go now. I know a captain who's planning an expedition to Cape Cod. Captain Ahab's his name. He commanded the Pequod. He might need good harpooners. I'll tell him about you.
Maybe. If you like, aye.
I'm done here. It's time to leave.
Kansas confirmed the badge belongs to him. This means he was at the scene of the murder, but does not necessarily prove that he is the murderer. That's true. It proves that he was there. Nothing more. Let's go and talk to Nelligan. Something, I'm missing something here. Pouch proves the visit. Doesn't prove anything else. Oh, I'm all dressed up properly.
please escort this suspect for interrogation? Tell me, Mr. Nelligan, what exactly were you hoping to find inside Peter Carey's cabin?
I was trying to find some information about my father.
Damn it.
Tell me, Mr.
I was trying to find some information about my father.
Bond certificate.
I assume you had another purpose, to retrieve the bond certificates. Am I correct?
Yes. I discovered some time ago that a few of the missing securities had reappeared on the London market. You can imagine my amazement. I spent months trying to find them, and at last I discovered that the original seller had been Captain Peter Carey. These papers, they belonged to my family, but I could not find them there.
That's all for now. Well, I will see you soon, young man.
More clues. You have found and used all the clues in the case. Please proceed to the deduction space. Peter Carey was trying to conceal Peter Cairns. Okay. I think Cairns is guilty. And we're going to condemn him. Here we go. We've gone for Cairns. The next day.
If you wouldn't mind, Mr. Holmes, could you explain it to me?
As I informed you on our way here, Patrick Cairns is the murderer of Black Peter.
Why bring me here? Wouldn't it be better if we were out looking for him?
That would be futile, as he will be with us in approximately 12 seconds.
Oh, well, if this is your idea of humour...
No, I just heard the front door. Prepare yourself.
Good day, gentlemen. A young lad gave me a note from Captain Ahab. Am I at the right address? Is he here?
Indeed, it is the correct address. But in place of your captain, may I present to you Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard?
That means...
It means, my friend, that you are arrested for the murder of Black Peter.
What? What? A trap? You think you can take me?
Here now. We'll have none of that.
And I say that we will.
Oh, here we go. Oh! Get knocked out?
Are you all right?
Oh,
Are you
achievement.
able to stand?
Bruiser.
Oh, my
Cairns
jaw.
in a fight.
Gore. He took me by surprise, Mr. Holmes. Otherwise, he would have seen what I'm capable of. Oh.
Yes, he was lucky.
Ah. But you got him.
It was remarkably easy. He lost his balance after he struck you.
And you practice boxing, I know. You must have hit him hard. Our fellow is knocked out.
We should call for a police cab and then take you to the hospital.
Yes, well, no need for a hospital. I would prefer to keep this between us. You know.
Of course, Inspector. The case is closed.
Hey, got the right one. Peter Carey was murdered by Drake Cairns, a professional harpooner, the only one capable of executing such an accurate throw. His tobacco pouch was found inside Carey's cabin. He is a cold-blooded murderer. You've decided to bring him to justice. Accept the decision. Your ranking. Who? Yeah, baby. Alright. I'm going to go for a quick break. Oh, got an achievement. Aye, aye, Captain. Finish the Black Peter case. Alright, guys, I'm going to go for a quick drink. I'll see you in a couple of moments. YouTube, thank you very much for the next video. I'm actually going to split these up into separate videos per case. So, I'll see you in my next one.